Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's number one Spurs fan, bringing you some Tottenham news that's happened over the last few days with co-host Jack and Nicky. Jack, how are you, my man?
Not bad, David. Ready to get over these news. Kind of ready to talk about some of these transfers that might be coming in. Some departures as well. Let's crack into it.
Yeah, look, what we will be talking about, just touching on, is Kane, Romero, and the reports from the Athletic about Tanganga, Skipp, Joe Hart to Celtic, the Toby Alderweireld fee, Parrott, Vlahovic, Tomiyasu, Sessegnon, and then a bit on the open training session towards the end. So, guys, make sure you do stay tuned all the way through for all of the news. But Jacko, let's get straight into it. Look, it looks like my main man, Harry Kane, best number 10 in world football, king of the lane, is absolutely staying at Tottenham, with a Man City deciding to pursue Jack Grealish for 100 million instead of Harry Kane, because apparently, Tottenham made it very, very difficult for City to get Harry Kane, which is what we wanted to hear. Great news today, Jack, isn't it?
No, it's brilliant news for all Spurs fans, and especially David. Harry Kane's number one fan, especially Harry Kane's only alternative. In case he were to leave. But then, David, it's maybe I don't know who to applaud. Maybe it's Paratici for this one. I dare say Levy. I don't want to applaud him, but whoever's responsible for maybe being a bit of a hard negotiator, maybe just saying it's not going to happen. Honestly, they're a saint. They're a saint, David. So it's good to see Man City have gone to someone else here.
Yeah, look, and I do believe Jack Grealish should probably be gettable for Man City, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
know he's captain and he loves Villa, but I do believe if he wants to progress to the next level, that he'll probably take that move. But with Harry Kane staying, it's absolutely brilliant in terms for Tottenham, because it's one less position we'll have to find a replacement for or fix over this transfer window. So it's absolutely brilliant in that regards. And I'm just delighted that it looks like he will be staying, because I'll be honest with you, Jack, I don't see anyone else in world football, bar maybe PSG, having the money to push through a deal for Harry Kane.
No, especially in this market, David, you're absolutely right. And to be honest, maybe even a quick word to Jack Grealish, I will say, I really hope he doesn't go to City. I really hope that, he just, doesn't betray the people of Birmingham. They're even offering him a new contract there, David. So, hopefully they give him enough money to crash even more Range Rovers, because with probably the offer Man City's giving, he's probably thinking of all the Range Rovers he can crash.
I'll be honest with you, right? I actually really do like Jack Grealish as
I
a
love him
player,
as
but for
well, but
me, for me, I would actually rather him go City, because it means they can't fork out for Harry Kane. So I would rather it happens
good point.
in that aspect. But look, moving on to another bit of news, Jack, that everybody wants answers to, including me. I put out a tweet earlier on to Fabrizio just saying, look, stop with the foreplay. Let us know what's going on. But basically, what has been said is that it is a work in progress, Jack. Only Tottenham are in for him. Barcelona are not. And look, the latest bid on the table is 50 million plus 5 million add-ons, which is getting very, very close to the 55 million they want up front for the player.
Yeah, David, I believe initially Spurs were not supposed to be going over like 42 million, I believe, at first. Now it's seemingly, according to plenty of reports, that they're willing to maybe go up to the 50 million and then 55 million add-ons and bonuses, like you said, David. To be honest, it seems like they're very, very keen on Romero. Like the report said, they're willing to almost do it for anything. But I will say this is probably maybe the last chance. And if Atalanta were to say no to this, David, might be no more Romero, you might say.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I fully agree with that. I do think this is probably last chance, especially from Spurs. I think it probably will be more or less the last bid. Look, if it is a case where Atlanta just say, look, we want 55 million up front, Tottenham just need to give them the 55 million up front. They're already offering 5 million in add-ons plus 50, so may as well just give them the 55 they want. But look, if this deal doesn't break down or doesn't go ahead, I find it hard to blame Tottenham on this one, Jack. I don't know about you, but me personally, because we are getting there, we are giving them what they want. I know a lot of people are saying, look, that's the price, just pay it. But it's called transfer negotiations for a reason, Jack, because, Atlanta will say, look, we want 55 million. Tottenham will say, well, look, we'll give you 40. That's natural. And then you try and meet in the middle. But it looks like Atlanta are not wavering. So that's why they probably will end up getting the 55 million. But if this deal doesn't go ahead, do you blame Tottenham, Jack?
I wouldn't blame Tottenham, to be honest, David. And I think you brought up some good points there. I might bring up maybe, a bit of nuance, a bit of different ones as well. I might say that, when you really do think about it, David, this is a pandemic market. We should honestly be taking advantage of some of the prices of some of the center backs and defenders that are out there. With the price that Romero is being asked for, it's not really very much of a pandemic price, or maybe, a pandemic slash or discount, you might say. And someone like Paratici, someone like Levy, who definitely loves a good bargain, is not going to be happy with that, especially with Atalanta maybe forcing them to pay that much. So they might look elsewhere. And considering maybe all the deals that are out there, they might be smart to look elsewhere. Of course, Romero is honestly one of a kind player, but there's a certain price. Every player has his price that you can't pay. And to be honest, they might be a bit smart to do it. Unfortunately, if they had unlimited cash, if they wanted to spend unlimited cash like a lot of clubs do, and to be honest, like they should, then yeah, they should get it done, no matter the price. But we're dealing with cheapskates here, David, and so that's what we're going to have to deal with. And this is a bit too much for them. If you think about Milenkovic for 15 million, Maxence Lacroix, that other guy before, he might be 20-25 million, and maybe even the Tomiyasu for 18 million. You save a bit there. You add a bit of depth as well. So they're going to try to think about it in a more of a cheap manner.
Yeah, and look, we all know who's getting caned in the comments after this. It's Jack basically telling everyone, we should be moving on from Romero deal. So get your comments in and, cane Jack for that. No, look, I do agree, to be honest with you. I think if Atlanta do shift the goalpost on this and say, look, we want 60, 65 million, which has been reported, walk away from the deal. Because I'm not being held to ransom by Atalanta from Italy, who have only come to the fore for the first time in about 20 years. Right, I'm not being held to ransom by these guys, and plus it just means that when we do enter other negotiations, any other team are going to do the same to Tottenham. So I don't want that to happen. But look, you touched on Tomiyasu, Jack, as well. Look, a bit of news floating about is that representatives close to Tomiyasu believe that the deal will be done after the Olympics. Can you see this one being done, or do you think we've missed the boat?
It's really hard to say, David, especially considering like there was a bit of concern with the injury. I think he's supposed to be recovering quite quickly from it. But yeah, the fact that it hasn't been done before the Olympics and the Brian Hill deal seems to have been done while he's at the Olympics is a bit concerning. I don't know maybe what the difference is. It might be possible that they're not as interested in Tomiyasu as we might think, David. And it actually was a bit of a smokescreen.
Yeah. I hope not, because I would like Tomiyasu to come in and potentially take that right back spot. I really would like that, and plus he can fill into centre back if we really need him to. But look, last player that we've kind of been linked with over the last few days, Jack, and I know you're a big fan of this guy. He's an absolute unit, this guy. Vlahovic from Fiorentina. What do you make on this guy? And do you think it's a deal that Tottenham could potentially get done as a backup striker? Or do you think, it's not going to happen? Because reports are, Jack, that is Tottenham are interested, no official bid, and probably won't be making a bid, but they are keeping an eye on him. What do you make of Vlahovic?
I mean, you're talking about one of Serie A's top strikers of last season, David. I mean, I believe he scored 23 goals plus 22 goals in Serie A alone. He's one of the top scorers in the Serie A for Fiorentina, which a team that sadly has been really, really, really dropping from maybe, the higher tiers of Serie A. They're more of a mid-table side even now, which is quite unfortunate. So he's definitely outperformed himself as well, David. He's kind of a bit of just a young kind of almost a blossoming talent. He's very quick, actually, despite his size, but he is very strong, very good in the air, kind of very good number 9 when you're whipping a ball in. But he also has a bit of pace as well, which kind of helps him maybe get ahead of his defender, kind of like Haaland in a way, but obviously just in the sense of maybe the physical attributes. But to be honest, I think he could be one of a kind. Clearly, many are very concerned that, this is, breakout season, but he's only so young as well. So he's going to have, his breakout season, eventually. And it was, quite young in his career. And if he were to have another one, his price would only soar even more. And so when you do think about it, David, he would be an incredible backup and an incredible, someone, a partner came in as well. But if we were to get him, you would be a bit concerned that, Kane might be out the door. But if we get him for a good price, absolutely take him. I mean, you're talking about Serie A's top performer.
Yeah, but look, they can say, it may, like a one-season wonder. That was labelled at Harry Kane when he first broke onto the scene, and he continued. But not only that, Vlahovic only scored 7 goals the other day in a pre-season friendly as well. So it looks like he will continue continue that form. It looks like, it's seven goals. The man absolutely destroyed the game, And pre-season, people talk about pre-season is only about fitness, not for Vlahovic anyway. But look, Jack, moving on now, we're going to kind of move on to a few rumours about players departing and players who have departed. I want to touch on Tanganga as well. First of all, two kind of parts of this is Galatasaray put in a loan deal reportedly put in a season-long loan deal for Japhet Tanganga. Splits fans' opinions on this one. Some fans are saying, look, we should let him go on loan, to further his development. But for me, if we've already sold Toby, I don't see why we would let another centre-back leave the club, at least until we get one in. And even then, I still want Dyer and Sanchez gone before him. But then also on that today, the Athletic have reported that Tanganga and Skipp potentially could be up for loan deals out of Tottenham, which, again, I don't see. I think they're just chatting shite, to be honest, and putting stuff out there to keep people interested. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah,
because Skipp has been our best performer pre-season.
Yeah, and I certainly hope not as well, David, because then again, with the way that, the rumors surrounding Winks, the rumors surrounding Sissoko, I mean, these would just be so many players out the door. And to be honest, the way Nuno even played Skippy last time, the way he even has played Japhet as well, he seems to be using him very sparingly, might suggest that, he definitely has faith in him. And then also as well, David, as we've touched on in our Get to Know Nuno, he is a fan of the youth, David. He loves to incorporate the youth into his side. So I don't see why he would not use the brilliant talents that we have in Skippy and Japhet there.
Yeah. Look, on this one, what I would say to Spurs fans is ignore it. The Athletic, they've kind of put out a lot of transfer stuff about Tottenham before. Hasn't really come too much truth to it. What I will say is clearly whoever, I think it was Charlie Eccleston or someone like that, put it out. I don't even have the time to get his name correctly if you can't even get his reports correct, to be honest with you. But with Skipp, right, look, be honest, right, with Skipp, he's been our best player pre-season. Winks and Sissoko, apparently Sissoko's already been told he's not part of the plans. They get a good offer for Winks, he will be sold. So for me, there's no way Skipp is going anywhere. He's been best performer pre-season. And lads, with Tanganga, look, if he does go on loan and after we get a couple of defenders in, you could say, okay, maybe that could be a shrewd move from Galatasaray. Look, he'll be putting the pressure out there in Turkey, be playing in a hostile atmosphere. It'll only be good for his development as long as he plays well out there. Because if not, he will get caned if he does take the move. But at the same time, I like after us selling Toby, I can't see him going out on loan. I don't see it, not especially until we get in a couple of defenders. So what I would say on that one, Spurs fans, is just calm down. It's definitely not true. That's what I'm going to say to you. Look, another players we'll touch on now is Toby Alderweireld, Jack. He's already gone. He's already left. But apparently, according to Alistair Gold, the fee is only of 4.2 million. And the motivation to sell him was to get him off the wage book to basically free up wages for other players coming in. What do you make on that? 4.2, bit low maybe, considering the first fee report was around 13 to 15 million.
Yeah, David, actually, the fee was reportedly, never actually disclosed to any of us. So, the first idea was that maybe there was a bit of speculation that it would have been around right the £13 million, €13 million mark. Which would make sense considering I think his evaluation prior to that was around £9 million. So would be you would think a Qatari club would probably want to overpay for him, but that's not actually the case, David. His contract even going up in 2023, you'd think they would pay a bit more, but no, apparently they needed to get Toby out the door. They said because of his wages. It might be because of his wages, David, but then it also might be because he might not be a positive I don't know, like influence on the dressing room at the moment. He might not honestly want to be at Spurs, and he might be a bit of a poison that, maybe Nuno and Parrott just don't want to see around the club anymore. And so it might be just bye-bye Toby. And it's quite unfortunate that maybe it's turned out this way, considering he's done a lot of service for us.
No, look, great servant. To be honest with you, look, he wanted out of Tottenham before Jose came in. He stayed. He helped us out in that department at centre back. You know what I mean? Imagine if he didn't stay, how much of a shambles it really would have been. But look, we kind of knew once he came out and signed a new contract under Jose and said I only signed it because I've always wanted to work with Jose. We kind of could have guessed he was going to be going this summer anyway. So look, Toby, thank you very much for your service and good luck. Just surprised on the fee. I do think it's a bit low, but I can understand why they're doing it if they do have other players lined up to come in. Another player to touch on, Jack, is Mr. Cricket, Mr. Head and Shoulders, Joe Hart, aka Bingo and Cricket organizer in the dressing room. Look, he was told he's not part of the plans. We've got him no Golini in the ranks there as backup goalkeeper. So Joe Hart is on his way to Celtic, and I do think the deal will be wrapped up in the next 48 hours. Jack, glad to see the back of him.
In a way, yes, David, simply because, before he was at City, which is, a club I've always detested, he wasn't even here very long, David. Like you said, he seemed to be, more of a, of a card shuffler, someone that, was kind of running the poker games at night, running the bingo, like you said, running the cricket games when they should be doing strength training, when they should be, on the treadmills. Like I said, I think he even took advantage of Region there, by when Region just trying to make friends, he made Region play cricket instead of, maybe playing FIFA or, doing a bit of strength training with the lads. Just honestly a bit of a distraction to the boys. And as well, he's even lost the head and shoulders position to Alfie Whiteman, the tanner, longer haired Danny Kiriakou. So honestly, big up to Joe Hart.
Yeah, no, thank God he's gone. I couldn't stand videos coming out of him playing cricket, especially while we're losing. Let's not give too much time to him. Another player to move on to is Troy Parrott, gone out for a season-long loan to MK Dons, Jack. Look, for me, I do think this is a loan deal that probably has to work out for him. He was loaned out to Millwall last season, at the start of last season. And look, when he arrived at Millwall, he was out for more or less the first 8 weeks, of that campaign. Then he played 11 times for Millwall, 0 goals. He was recalled back to Tottenham in January because it wasn't working out. And then, of course, he went out on loan to Ipswich, who are in the same league as MK Dons now, to League One. Played 18 times with 2 goals. Look, the goal returns isn't enough. With Scarlett coming through, Harry Kane looks like he's staying. And I would say definitely, over the next year or two, we'll probably be looking at another option, depending on what the Harry Kane future kind of holds. Is this last chance saloon for Troy Parrott to prove he's good enough for Tottenham and go out there and bang the goals in?
Yeah, David, I think it is a bit of last chance saloon as well. Like you said, he then was loaned out to Ipswich, a team that is also in League One as well with MK Dons. This is probably his last chance to be able to prove that he's quality enough to maybe make the step up. To be honest, if he's able to do well at MK Dons, I might even say then move him on to a championship club, see how he does there. It really is his last chance to maybe prove himself as a footballer, to be honest, because David, his youth is running out. There's only so much time that people will give him, as a prospect.
No, 100%. Couldn't agree more. But guys, there's the roundup of all the transfer news over the last few days. Let's get into a bit on just a few bits on Tottenham. Ryan Sessegnon as well. Look, people have been asking where he is. It has come out that he's had a minor hamstring injury, Jack. And as well, look, for me, I do believe he's a massive part of Nuno's plans. He has been told Nuno wants to keep him around. And look, he played 29 games out on loan last season with Hoffenheim. 2 goals, 3 assists. And he was a fan's favourite. Fans loved him. So look, he is expected to be back in full training around 10 to 15 days. It's touch and go whether he'll be around for the City game or not. But Jack, do you think Sessegnon can definitely have a good season under Nuno this season? Already starting with injuries, which isn't good.
Yeah, the start with injuries is not a good start, David. But to be honest, if Nuno has found success before with Matt Doherty playing that left wing or playing that right wing back position, hopefully maybe with the majority of our left-sided players being very attacking, especially in the fullback areas, you might think that with Reggie and Sessegnon, he's going to be using them as very attacking fullbacks. And with that, Nuno has found a lot of success. So I could only see Sessegnon having a good season with that as well. Maybe. Let's say, we need to be a bit pragmatic. We need to just, hold on to a lead. He can maybe come in, in front of Region, to be a bit more of kind of a defensive pairing together who will work hard for each other. I can only see success with him under Nuno.
Yeah, 100%. Look, we was told, for me, apparently he was told that he'd be providing, backup for Reguilon and Ben Davies and Son and stuff like that. But look, the kid needs to kick on now. He's 21 now. He's 21. Look, he had a good time at Hoffenheim last season. Hopefully he can bring it into Tottenham. But look, it's another hamstring injury for him, which isn't looking good for him. But hopefully he can get fit and really show us what the money we pay for him, that it was worth it. Look, two last bits of news, Jack, as well, is the Mind Charity series with Chelsea and Arsenal. Guys, you can actually get the games on the Tottenham Hotspur website. It is $7.99 with £4 going to charity for mental health. I want to say no, I'm not a Parrott for the club. They haven't asked me to do it. I just think, everyone's going to be asking people anyway where you can see the game, so I just thought I'd let you know. And then the last piece of news is the open training session tomorrow at 11 p.m. for anyone who wants to kind of see what they're doing, how hard they're being put through their paces. It is at 11 p.m. It'll be across all social media platforms on the official pages. Jack, will you be staying up? Will you be getting up to watch that? I know it'll be very, very early your time.
Oh, David, especially the Spurs training sessions, I will say they are quite glorious to watch. Especially I'd love to see maybe see how late maybe Delhi shows up to training, or maybe nice to see maybe even Tanguy get a bit of talking to maybe from Nuno about maybe the burger joint that he saw him at over the weekend. I really look forward to that stuff, David. I honestly read too much into things like that, so I'll be bright and early for that.
No, I absolutely love it, 100%. But look, there we have it, guys. There is our Tottenham news update. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Look, get in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on everything we spoke about here today. Make sure you do smash a like on the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Nothing in terms of tomorrow unless there's a big announcement. I'll be off celebrating my sister's birthday, which in turn gives Jack a day off too. So look, guys, we'll be back Sunday. And as always, come on, you Spurs. And in Nuno we trust.
In Nuno we trust.